pretty sheriff.
Here we are in front of the courthouse in Prince George. I've been here many times. House full of criminals. I'm talking about the judges, the lawyers, the military especially, Simon Wagstaff. I was here over a year ago, my wife and I. She wrote this on the truck. This is about a murder that the cops and the ministry and provincial government and federal government have been covering up for 25 years. Just recently, they admitted to knowing about this murder. Said it was investigated 25 years ago, but they left out the pedophiles that molested her from the age of 8 to the age of 12. This is in her hand. She wrote this. My wife has been through hell. I've been through hell. Since I reported this murder, they've done nothing but attack me and my family. They took my children. They destroyed my wife. She now sleeps in a car because she's not allowed to come home. And I'm not allowed to have any contact with her. That was all due to Judge Gray and Jeffrey McDonald and Simon Wagstaff, the Ministry of Children and Families. Despair. That's what they feed on. That's what they bestow on everybody. And anybody that's involved with the ministry or the RCMP. It's not just me. There's thousands I've discovered throughout this province and across this country. The people mostly involved in this are the RCMP, the ones that were led to believe that to protect our rights. They say we have a charter of rights. Not in there. Whenever I appeared in that court, the Charter of Rights stopped out here on the street.
Fucking right!
I spent 4 months up here on the hill, the BC Correctional Facility. Over 95 of the young men in there were there on a breach. You don't have to break the law anymore. It's all about a breach. And it's to keep the prisons full. That's what it's all about. The RCMP and the courts. That's who's doing this. There's lots of people have reported crimes. I had one here today that reported a murder by 2 RCMP. And we've discovered there's a third person was present when this person was murdered in Quesnel. The witness is here today and he's going to tell you about that. I had Mr. Arthur Copham here as well, who was attacked by the system for his articles that he puts on his radical press. David Amos is here. David Amos has been trying to get the RCMP to investigate murders on the East Coast and here in British Columbia of a high-level Native activist that was murdered. But they don't want to touch that because they're involved in it. As my wife wrote here, the biggest criminal organization in this country is the RCMP. Good morning, Simon. Simon Wagstaff. He's the lawyer for the Ministry of Children and Families who kidnapped thousands of children. Thousands of children. They go in this court and lie through their teeth. And they put as much despair in the parents' lives and everybody's life as they possibly can. That's the deal. Keep you down. Put you under conditions so you can't make a living. And then they expect you, oh, you're just going to shut up and go away. And you know what? Lots of people do. Not this people. Not this one. Because I've discovered the despair that they put in people's lives. When I was in prison in Prince George here up on the hill, 95% of the young men in there was there on a breach. They didn't break the law. They broke the law 2 or 3 years before. And now on conditions for 2 or 3 years. Mostly ridiculous conditions and undertakings. And these people, they do it routinely to keep you down, to shut you up. And during most of these young men were breached. They didn't even breach. The cops just came in and arbitrarily arrested and said they breached, and away they went. Huh? Same as they did to me on several occasions. The very same they did to me. Well, I'm here to tell you that I've been telling the world on my YouTube channel and my websites around the world. Hundreds of millions of people now know what happens in this country. And not only here in BC, it's right across this country. We have to stand up and we have to speak out. And everybody and anybody that's been involved with the ministry, who had their children taken, or anyone that's been breached or so-called breached, speak up. There's a whole world out there wanting to listen to you. It's up to you to speak up. Call me. If you don't want to speak up, call me. My number is 250-569-0338. And my name is Frank Frost. I'll tell your story. You can bank on that. I'll tell your story to the world. So everybody that's had anything happen to them in there, and trust me when I tell you, there's only one judge in there that actually protects you with the charter, and that's Judge Becknell. The rest are criminals. They committed court fraud against me. Court fraud. I'm taking it now to federal level, and I'll find out how much corruption is in the federal courts at that point. I already know what's in here. And I got no interest in making any more applications in this building, and I'm not going to. Not a chance. And I know after today, they're going to try and come up with some little piss-ass reason to arrest me again, arbitrarily. All I can say to that is, good luck.
Must have been a cough.
But I'm sure there's people listening right now over here on 3rd Avenue that's been living a life of despair, molested in some foster home, like the majority of the young men in 3 East was in foster care. We all know what that's about. But the average person doesn't know. The average person thinks that these courts operate in our best interest. I believe that for many years of my life. And I don't believe that anymore. I've seen what they've done, and I know how the cops operate. I've seen what these judges do. I've seen what the Crown prosecutors do. You look on YouTube, you'll see my wife's latest video and statement where she said Jeffrey McDonald and the RCMP and McBride Club in threatened her to testify against me. I made a police complaint over 6 months ago concerning that. I've talked to every level of government, every level. Nothing. Now the cops say, oh, she recanted her statement. The very same statement she wrote on this truck over a year and a half ago. Now, you tell me. They're so full of shit their eyes are bound. And I'm here to tell you that. And I don't care which one of them are listening in there. I hope they're all listening. That registry is in there. Corrupt. Corrupt as hell. They go along with McDonald's, they go along with Wagstaff, and anything else that anybody in that courthouse asks them to do, that's what they'll do.
250.
They won't even give me my tapes
0338
for my trials. Nothing. Nothing. They won't give me no tapes of any hearings, nothing. Keep telling me, oh, make an application. I made an application to get conditions released from me so I could see my beautiful children.
Did I say 5, 6, 9?
6 months I was back and forth, back and forth. Judge Gray never gave a decision. When I exposed my wife's video and statement in open court, in his court, McDonald was there. He did nothing. Nothing. He never said a word to McDonald. Nothing. And the next time I went back there, he said, oh, this is off the record today. Eh? Off the record. Yeah. That's how they operate. That's how they operate. Jeffrey McDonald is still business as usual in there. Judge Gray, Judge Weatherly, Judge Tees, Judge Callan. Judge Callan, my last appearance here on the CSA case about my children was a trial. We had a pre-trial hearing with Judge Becknell. He laid down the rules. I show up for trial. They changed it to a protection hearing. And of course, I'm not stupid. I told them to shove it up their ass. The criminal charge that they charged me with, I couldn't possibly commit. I could have went in to this place where the ministry was holding my children and taken them. Nothing they could do. There was no protection hearing. There was no nothing, no protection order against me whatsoever. But they kept that from me and led me to believe that I couldn't see my children. They led me to believe this. And it wasn't until I spoke with Judge Becknell at the pre-trial hearing. He told me, they have no protection order against you, Mr. Frost. You can go get your children anytime you want. But I can't, because Judge Gray put all these conditions on me after the fact. That's the game they play. That's the game. That's the game they play.
It is the game
they play it with everybody. It's not just me. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just standing here whining and sniveling. They do
you mind me taking a shot at you doing that?
Step through those doors.
Hey, I agree,
like
Frank.
I said before, the only judge in that courthouse that actually
That's what he
goes
needs
by
is
the
support.
charter.
That's what he
It's
needs,
Judge
just
Becknell.
people acknowledge it.
Well, I know what he
The
works
rest of
I'm
them?
doing the same thing. Work safe
I guess it
ordered
just
me to
depends
go drive
on how they feel
semi-trucks
that day.
and on T3s.
And
You
if
want
they
help
got
with
beef-
WorkSafe
if you
BC,
got
I know a
beef
lot
with
about
the
that
cops
shit.
Or the Crown, or whoever.
Here's the letter I sent.
That's how it works here.
I got
That's
one
how
back
it
from
works.
the ministry about driving on drugs, right?
You know?
Well, I sent the
I've lived the dream. I'm not talking about something I know nothing about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. And everybody involved in that courthouse knows exactly what I'm saying is true. Absolutely true.
Yeah.
It's all over the world on my videos on YouTube. All over the world. Anybody can look at my YouTube channel. Frank Frost, RCMP, and Court Corruption. Look it up. I also have a website. It's called the Ministry of Children and Families Corruption.wordpress.com. I advertise my phone number online because I can't have the fucking computer in my home. They shut me down from the internet 2 years ago. TELUS won't even give me dial-up. Nothing. So I depend on other people in the round to do my things online for me. David Ennis has been a big help. Arthur Coughlin's been a big help. Numerous other people here in British Columbia, Prince George, and around the province and across the country have been a big help. And around the world. Let me tell you, people around the world know because I tell it like it is. And these people know it. They tried to even claim the copyrights from my wife's video when she did that.
I can help you.
Yeah?
And tried to block it from going on YouTube.
Back in
Because they know every word she said was
2009,
true. Every word she said.
People protesting WorkSafe Big C, a guy in particular by the name of Josh
But these
Thurston,
people have
asked
to
me for my
stop
help.
doing this.
And this was
These
before
criminal things that you and I
Gordy
get
Campbell
charged
got
for.
reelected.
I want my
I
cops.
took on WorkSafe
I
BC
want my
for jokes.
sheriffs. I want my registry. I want
And
my courts.
at the time, Wally
to do
Ogle
their
was
jobs.
the Attorney General, and Shirley Vaughn
That's why we
was
paid
later
them.
the Attorney General.
I'm
Now it's
59
Suzanne
years old, and
Anton.
I paid into this system.
What you
and
have
worked
there
and
is a
defended my
signed
country.
letter from an Assistant Attorney General
for
who knows
this.
who I am.
Not for this.
All right? Now,
I did
you go,
that
well,
because
who
I
the fuck are
believed
you?
in my country.
Right?
And I believed in my courts and my cops. But since all this has happened, let me tell you, I have a different outlook on all
I'm this
of
guy.
Totally different outlook. Totally different. I know that the cops now, their oath is, I will follow orders. Not from me, not from you, from these guys. That's it.
I ran for Parliament a few times, but you can see that
Everyone around
Anne
the
McClellan
world,
responded
the
to
United
me
Nations, even the Queen of
after
England herself,
various
I have
entities, but
contacted. They all know.
External
Did
View Committee, the RCMP,
Did absolutely nothing. If
Department of
you
Homeland Security,
knew
they tried to
about
take
the
me to
murder
Gitmo
and
back
you
in
didn't
2003
say
when I was
something
suing Treasury
and they
agents.
said, oh, you know
I'm a
about this
whistleblower
murder,
about money.
You would be charged
One thing about WorkSafe
as an
Big C
accessory to those
is they
crimes. And
manage
that's
an
exactly
incredible
what they
amount
are.
of money that you
They're
contributed
accessories
to,
murder, they're
and they
accessories
don't
to
pay it back
pedophilia,
to you.
and
Well,
numerous
the
other
thing I
charges.
can't get is
not-
they're
not
making me do a
excluding
criminal
kidnapping
activity.
of my children and thousands of
The
others.
RCMP said if I was in a crash, they did a toxology test, I would be going to jail.
But we all got a
That
voice.
is just intimidation.
Everybody.
Oh,
We
here go.
all got a
The
voice.
first thing, you send
You
me an
just have to
email,
use it.
and
If you
to
don't
figure out
wanna use it-
Sandstrom's email,
Well,
Yeah.
you just his
I'm
name
sorry to tell you.
dot
you're
his
not a part
name,
of the
you know,
solution.
first
You're
last
a part
name,
of the problem.
and it's probably
I know that there's
gov.bc.ca or
many,
whatever.
many people
But anyway,
in my system,
I'm David Amos.
including cops, including judges,
To find my
including
email
lawyers,
address is easy.
including
Just remember
social
my name,
workers.
David
That
Amos,
are good people
AMOS,
that want to do the
and
right
type
thing.
in liberal
but they're being
premier,
held back from
and you can
doing the
see
right
where they
thing
made fun of me
by
during the
all of
election,
these
me and Gordy Campbell.
shitheads.
But you'll see my
in
email
charge.
address.
That's
Or
wrong.
you wonder about
Even
me and money,
those
just type
people
in David
should have
Amos,
a
Madoff,
voice
Madoff,
and speak their
as in
mind
Bernie Madoff.
and
Well, I'll
tell
never
the
remember
truth.
all this. I'm not a
Just
computer.
my name, David Amos. Will do.
But they're
Amos?
AMOS.
expelled.
AMOS.
You'll find my
They get
email
rid of
address,
those. They get
david.raymond.amos
rid
at
of the good
gmail.com.
cops. They get rid
You
of the
send
good
me an
judges.
email from me to you.
They get rid of the good social
Remind me
workers.
who you are.
They just get rid of them.
Say
rhyme or
WorkSafe BC.
reason.
Give me some.
They just
Give
get
me
rid
some
of
of
it.
your shit, Dave, and I'll send
I
it
don't want
to
to
you
do that.
and that
I
guy that
want
wrote you the
my
letter.
courts, my cops,
And
my
then you'll get
everybody
what
that
you
works for
want.
me
Well,
to
Simon
do
said
their jobs
I
to the
waited
best
too
of their
long.
ability.
Not I waited too long, but I should have been on this right away. Because I thought I could deal with them myself. I mean, it's only common sense.
Well, I'll tell you something. That
I could
lawyer,
be wrong,
it's
and
just
maybe
like you
I'm
or me.
asking
He
too
puts
much.
his pants on one leg
Right?
at a time.
Yeah.
Maybe
He'll
I'm asking
give you
too
what
much.
you want. Keep
But
me out of
this
it.
can't happen.
Wow.
Do you understand what
All
I'm
of
saying?
these people are accessories to murder,
Simon's pretty
and I
good.
have a
He sticks
bigger
up for
list
me
than
quite a
this
Simon,
Wagstaff.
because they did nothing.
tell him you were talking to
Nothing.
Dave Amos and watch
When
his
I
eyes.
reported that murder to these people, they
He's
did
just taking your
nothing.
money.
Well, he protected me.
Not
once
a
when I was
thing.
Picketing family
He took his
maintenance.
children.
Cops for 2 years.
family
No
maintenance.
murder, no murder, no
He took
murder.
his children.
All of a sudden, the last time I was in court, the
Wagstaff.
CSA case, Simon Wagstaff stood up and said,
Conservative fucking
yeah,
shit.
the father murdered the child,
Wow.
and he's dead.
Conservative. I mean, they're
In
covering
another
up
room.
everything,
That's
and
not what happened. There were
they're
two
making me do
pedophiles.
something
One of
that's
them
illegal.
was the father of the
I
child.
mean,
Tennessee's and James
Well,
Turner,
okay.
two lawyers for the MCFD that were sexually
Wagstaff knows who I
molested
am.
from the age of 8
I
to the
dealt
age
with
of
family
12.
maintenance.
They
when
were
this was going
there,
through.
standing next to her
Well, I'm
father
telling you about
when he
WorkSafe
murdered that
BC,
child.
and
Carrie
if you want to know what I know about WorkSafe
She was
BC,
laying there.
fuck
They brought
Wagstaff.
a
You attacked
doctor
that
in the
guy that
home
wrote
to
you the
care for
letter.
her after the fact.
Yeah.
You
That's
send me
what
that,
happened.
and with your
That's her story.
permission,
That's
right?
what she's been telling
I will
me
answer
for
you
the last
and him.
2 years.
you
That's
forward that
what I
email to
know,
me.
and that's
You
been my
copy that.
story.
You know, do you know how to
In
make
that
a
courthouse,
PDF file or
every
right?
appearance that I've been
You
there.
send me a
I-
PDF file of both those documents.
This murder.
Well,
Jeffrey
this one came
McDonald
in the
said,
letter.
oh, no,
Yeah,
no.
you scan them.
She
Scan
just
them,
said
make a
that to
PDF
shut him
file.
up.
If you don't know how to do it, just go to Staples or something. Tell them you want a PDF
Now
file,
they don't want
right?
to give me my recordings.
All
for
they
my
do is
hearings.
scan it and make a
no,
PDF
because-
file?
Now,
'Cause
he's
courts like
saying that in
PDF
open
files,
Court, right?
okay?
Can't
So
have that,
you just,
can we?
if you don't know how to
No,
do it or don't know
no,
anybody how to do it, you
and
just scan the
Congressman,
document and tell the printer to make a PDF file,
In
basically.
another room.
But anyway, that said,
Pedophiles weren't there.
email it to me,
Protected.
right?
Two lawyers.
Say, Mr. Amos,
two pedophiles.
I was informed that you can
That
be of
makes
some
them
service with
accessories
WorkSafe
to that
BC.
crime.
Don't commit yourself, just say you were informed.
All of them.
Okay.
And then I'll
Anyone that's
bounce
complicit in
you
a
back
crime, and
what they
especially
knew
one
about
as
me
heinous as
taking them
raping
on
a
in
child.
2009,
You know?
before you
Skinners.
had a problem.
That's what they call them up on the hill.
You understand?
Skinners.
Because it's always about the money.
Oh,
And everybody who works in BC contributes to
And there's
WorkSafe
people-
BC. Their mission
mean,
is to
there's
keep
probably
your money and
hundreds of people
deal out as little as
Living on
possible.
the street here in Prince George.
said the same
That's
thing.
been
that is
involved
the
in
game.
in the foster care system.
Well, I appreciate
Has been
that,
molested.
Yes,
I
sir.
believe they
If you
have-
find me on the internet, make sure I'm not bullshitting.
David Amos.
AMOS.
Be foster parents for our
Think
children.
about it.
They couldn't possibly be that goddamn wrong.
Good luck.
All the children, not all of them, the majority of them, have been molested or beaten or abused in foster homes. We all know this. We see it on the news. This woman over here, Mary Ellen Chappelle LaFont, she is the